There's only one place to be on Sunday night, and that's on Citi TV. Scorecard is the show. Benjamin Nketsia is my name. Today has been a great day of football. At least from my point of view, it's been lovely. I've been sipping on my drink. I've been enjoying the football, the analysis, the aftermath, and all it comes with. It's also been a really good week for Ghanaian footballers in general. In Europe, Thomas Partey on target, Ransford Yeboah Koenigsdorfer on target, Daniel Kofichire on target. So it's been a really good week as far as Ghanaian footballers are concerned. Also, we found out our opponents for the CHAN tournament next year. Yes, that CHAN tournament is happening in Algeria next year. The draw was done yesterday, so we'll be giving you updates on that particular one. But it's all about Erling Haaland, Erik ten Hag, and Pep Guardiola, as well as Manchester United. Today, they've taken center stage, and we'll be dissecting and getting some explanations on what has transpired this Premier League game weekend. Let's take a quick break on the show. My brothers are here with me. They have a lot of explaining to do today, so we'll take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll get right into it. Welcome back to Scorecard here on Citi TV. You can send us your thoughts. The text and WhatsApp lines will be displayed on your screens. My Twitter handle is also there on your screen, so you can tweet at me at Kojo Nketsia. Use the hashtag Scorecard. Today, I'm really keen on getting to my Twitter people. I've abandoned you for a bit. Today, I'm keen on getting to the folks on Twitter, so tweet at me at Kojo Nketsia. If you are using your phone, text, WhatsApp, Telegram, the text and WhatsApp line is on your screens. Coach Christopher Nimley chose the day when his team got a bloodbath to look dapper. I like the outfit, you know. I don't know if it's I don't know what's going on. You're looking sweet, man.
I've always told you that when it is Sunday,
Charlie,
my wife usually takes center stage. She's so much particular about what I take to church.
Darling, today
of course,
you must look sweet and for Christ.
As usual.
Oh, Charlie.
So it has got nothing to do with the Manchester derby. I always look good on Sunday.
You mean always looking good on a Sunday?
I'm waiting for the day the two of you will be dressed by a woman.
It's okay. It's okay.
But you brought it. Let me talk. What is the problem? I said I'm looking forward to the day the two of you will be dressed like a woman. By a woman, sorry. When you say, no, you don't wear this. As my husband, you have to look like it. Look at it. You eat and eat good food.
Then I will do it.
Eat and eat good food. There is eating after good, and there is eating after good.
I can't believe a sports show is starting like this. Daniel, it's good to see you.
You are always buying on Yamianwa.
But he brought, why you bring it?
I don't even understand. It's good to have you guys on the show. Let's quickly get into it, Daniel. It's been a really interesting week. Let's start off with the CHAN tournament. Yeah. We found out our group stage opponents as things stand now. There you have the draw that was done yesterday in your shots there. So Ghana, after playing that final qualifier against Nigeria, have been placed in Group C. We'll be facing Morocco. I think Morocco are the defending champions of the competition. We'll face Sudan as well, Madagascar, and then, of course, the Black Stars will be in the mix. I say this is a tricky draw. I'm looking at it with
Look, this is as tough as it gets.
Yeah, it's a very tricky draw.
Very tough. And it's a Black Galaxy. They've changed the name. It's a Black Galaxy. Defending champions Morocco. We all know the strength of the Sudanese league and how strong their teams are when it comes to these competitions. And Madagascar, if you look at the team from the 2019 AFCON, the team from the 2021 AFCON, these were teams that were largely made up of local players, as in players playing in the Malagasy League. So it's going to be a very similar team that, if I'm not mistaken, is taken to this competition. So, look, this is really tough. And it's also made even tougher because of the state of our league now. We don't know how long this matter is going to drag. We don't know how long the teams are going to stay dormant. And look, we need the competition. We need to be in shape for the competition. It's in January, just a couple of months from now. We might think it's far away, but it's really just staring us in the face. We have November, December, and then the competition starts in January. So there's really not much time till the competition starts, and preparations need to be up underway, and the players also need to be in top form. But as it stands with the league on break for a period that we don't know how long it's going to be, it's a bit problematic. But look, this is a big stage. This is when you qualify for a competition like this, you need to expect to face the best of the best. And as it stands, Morocco defending champions. And you see, the thing about these competitions is you have one chance. Literally, you don't face the teams twice. It's not a home and away on a home and away basis. It is one chance. So you face Morocco once, you face Sudan once, you face Madagascar once, and it's going to be extremely difficult. But honestly, based on what we saw during the qualification series in the 2 games against Benin, the 2 games against Nigeria, I'll not put it past this group of players to at least qualify from this group. Sudan and Morocco are clearly favorites to qualify from this group. But if we can navigate it well, if you can approach it pragmatically, take this group, I think it's possible.
Coach, I don't know when Ghana went into an African competition and were not favorites to leave at least the group stage. But Daniel outlines it properly. This is as tricky a group as it gets, especially if you look at our history in this competition. For the last 8 years or so, the last 3 editions we've been absent. It means that we really haven't been good enough as far as our local leagues are concerned. And so this is a reflection of what our local league is. Is he right in thinking that we are underdogs in this group that has Sudan and Morocco?
Look, I agree with him 100%. It's a very, very difficult group. Nketsia, if you are Coach Anna Walker, Prosper Ogum, quickly, without delay, you get to work. But what is the best way to get to work? You can only get to work when the protagonists, those you are going to use to implement your ideas, are very, very active. Don't be surprised if we don't step out of this group.
Wow.
I will not be surprised at all. Because again, it has to do with the exposure our club side are having in Africa. This Moroccan team, the locally based players of Morocco, they are going to be playing in that team. Sudan, we know how well their teams perform on the continent of Africa. They've never been pushovers. They will not.
The WACs and the Raja Casablancas will be well represented.
And if you looked at the CHAN tournament, it's gotten better.
Yep.
And
gotten more competitive.
Every tournament is better than the previous one. When I say better, I mean the quality of the football has gotten better. The quality of the coaching has gotten better. Everything you want to see in a proper competition. There are times where I've sat and I've looked at, is it true that we are using only locally based players for this tournament? Because the quality of the goals is absolutely brilliant. So therefore, I sit here today very worried. Very worried because of the state of our football. I am pleading with Keto Kreku. I'm pleading with Prosperado, the General Secretary. The running of football in this country has been handed over to them by football people. I stand to be corrected. Naturally, would our league be put on hold when the World Cup starts? Or we'll play through the World Cup? No, I'll be surprised if we play through the World Cup. So if by now we are not playing our league because of court issues, and we don't know when our league itself will resume, when the World Cup starts and we go on break, I think this tournament starts in the very first week of January. Yes. I've forgotten the actual date, but it starts in the very first week of January. Nketsia, we are in serious trouble. And for me, if you've been absent for the last 3 editions, I think our last, that was when we went to the final, isn't it? And we are going back. We've got a standard to go and protect. And from that has always been my concern. People should understand the level of our team. Like when you talk about the Black Stars proper, the standard of the Black Stars is a team that was 1 kick away from a World Cup semi-final. That is the standard of our team. 1 kick away, we would have gotten to the semi-finals of the World Cup proper. And therefore, the standard of this team is to get to the final. That is the yardstick. That is what you use to assess that. So if you are a manager of our game, if you are a manager and you people are managing our game, you need to think accordingly. You need to make sure that measures are put in place that will ensure that when the team shows up at the tournament, we don't get booted out. Because for 3 years, for 3 editions, if we are not there and we've gotten the opportunity to be there, we need to go there and leave a mark. Leave a proper legacy.
Yeah.
So that the tournament in itself will see the need to always have the Black Galaxy in it. Because they know that once we are there, our quality has got no doubt. We will perform and it will bring more sponsorship to the tournament itself. It will make more money. So please, fix this court matter and let them be. As we speak, House of Oak, they have appointed a new coach. Or standby.
Yeah.
Can't you see these people? Are we going to talk about that?
I'll touch on it. On it briefly. Let's take a quick break here on Scorecard. When we come back, I'll give Coach a few seconds to touch on the Hearts of Oak new coaching appointment, and then we'll get into Europe. Partey doing the business, Haaland toying with Manchester United, and what's not. So stay with us here on Scorecard. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Scorecard here on Citi TV. Just before we get into the foreign action, Coach wants to have a word on the Hearts of Oak appointment. So David Okulu was Liberty Professionals head coach, I think, a little over a year ago. He has now been appointed as a stopgap coach for Accra Hearts of Oak. Coach, just snap thoughts on that.
Nketsia, where in this world have you ever seen a properly run football team appoint somebody they have said will be the assistant coach, but now he's the stopgap head coach? Where in this world have you seen such an appointment made before the head coach proper? Have you ever seen that before?
Well, I'm seeing
this is what Honorable Odote, Alaji Akambi, Dr. Nyao Kamako, and people who are very, very enlightened. Me here, I am not fit to advise any of them on football matters. But on this one, I will never make this elementary mistake. By the release of Hasafu, they have said that Oklu, after all the appointment is made, will be the deputy.
Yeah.
So there's a head coach to be appointed. So whether the head coach likes it or not, he should come and work with. Who does that? Have you ever seen when Pep Guardiola was appointed?
Yeah.
Did they appoint his assistant for him to come and work with? When Jurgen Klopp, Eric Ten Hag, and co, the deputy was appointed by the coach, by the board. And when the coach can, this is our deputy, whether I like it or not, go and work with him. How would that head coach even trust the man?
Yeah. I mean, if you take Boadu, for instance, Boadu came in with Hamza as his assistant, and that partnership yielded a lot of results.
Exactly. And these are people who say we should clap for them. Oh. They are modern football, like managers of football teams. Honorable Odote, Alaji Akambi, Dr. Nyao Tamaklo, Togbe Afede, the bank roller of this thing. I'm telling all of you today, I'm not missing my words. There's nowhere in this world where a team appoints the deputy coach and later go and appoint the head coach. So that whether the head coach likes it or not, when he comes, he should come and work with somebody who owns an allegiance to the board, to Odote, Alaji Akambi, and co. If there was anything I learned from the late Ben Kofi, he said, if never should you compromise on your backroom staff if you are the head coach of a team. Make sure that whoever works under you should have an allegiance to you. Meaning, you should be the one recommending, bringing those people on board so that they will do things the way you want it to be done. That is why the white people, England, Spain, all the...
When they appoint you, you come with your entire backroom staff. Points well made.
We will come back.
Points well made.
One day, I will come on this same platform, God willing, and I will tell Alaji Akambi, Togbe Afete, Dr. Nyao Tamaklo, and Honorable Odote, this is not the way you do a football team. I'm done.
Word for Accra Hearts of Oak. Let's get into the Premier League action, and let's start off with Liverpool versus Brighton. So Liverpool had the Queen's burial period to get their act together. They had the international break as well to recoup or to get back a few players who were reeling with injuries, but it doesn't appear as if it had any positive effect on the team. Trossard was absolutely toying with Liverpool in this game at Anfield. First player to score a hat-trick at Anfield since Andre Arshavin in how long, only God knows. So Liverpool Football Club dropping points once again. I don't know if I should say title ambitions are over. Daniel, let me start off with you. Is it too early to start sounding those type of bells like, okay, the title is gone now, you need to fight for top 4? And what really needs to change? Because Liverpool have had over 2 weeks to work out their inefficiencies and their shortcomings. Nothing has changed.
Title ambitions, I don't think it's too early to say, because we know how the Premier League is. We know how much it rests on fine margins, and every point is important. We've seen this.
Somebody would say by last season, Manchester City were still somewhere in mid-table at this point.
They still won it by 1 point. They led Liverpool by how many? 14 points.
Yeah.
They still won it by 1 point. It just shows you. Then Liverpool will have to go back and think about that game they drew instead of winning.
Yeah.
It's fine margins, and that is the Premier League. You cannot be letting points slip like this at this stage of the season. At home against Brighton, it's a game Liverpool should be winning. Look, I put this down on one simple thing: club stubbornness. And we've seen it manifest in his career. His unexplainable loyalty to players that he knows are not going to give him the best. And I'm talking about Henderson, I'm talking about Milner. These are guys that he should have seen. By now, come on, man. Look, they are past it. They've done a very good job for you. But you cannot continue to trust them at this level. And the level of trust he's given them. And you see, sometimes when he does it, I feel sorry for the player, because the players themselves, they know that they are not good enough. Milner knows when he's coming on after 60 minutes, he knows he's not going to add anything offensively or defensively to this team.
Yeah.
When Henderson is starting, he knows himself that when he looks on the bench, he can see 2 or 3 players who are better than him, who are better suited to the role than him, but yet still he's playing. They know. But the manager continues to play them. Then they don't do well. Then he goes against the team. Then it becomes like their fault. Look, Liverpool had chances. They had chances to sign midfielders during the transfer window.
Yeah.
They decided to work. You knew.
Yep.
You knew that you needed to sign him. As to why you didn't do it, nobody knows. But you see, it's unexplainable, and it's very disappointing when you look at how the season started. And that's the thing about the Community Shield and how much it can deceive you. They went into that game, they beat Manchester City, and they looked like, they were meanwhile, there were cracks during pre-season that could show you that this team was on the decline, and they seriously needed to make some signings to improve. In the attacking part of the field, look, I'm not surprised that they are struggling to create opportunities, they are struggling to score. It doesn't look like, they don't look like what they don't know how to use Salah at this point in time. Remember, when they bought Darwin Núñez, I said that it's going to bring some confusion in the front line because he's a goal-getter. Salah is also a goal-getter. So somebody is going to have to sacrifice their goal-scoring chances. And if you look at how Salah is being deployed, it looks like he's been asked to be a creator in this team. In the opening, 6-7 games of the season. And it's just not working. Yes, he may be getting assists, but that thing to Firmino is not an assist. It was a miscontrolled ball that fell to Firmino. So creatively, he's not really being able to carve out opportunities. That side of him is not coming to bear because look, it's just not working. And for me, look, it's down to the manager. By now, 7 years, he's been playing the same style. This team has been figured out. He's tried to use his laterals in Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson and whoever to bring creativity. They've been figured out. And smart managers think of plan Bs, and those plan Bs work within a short space of time. Klopp looks very confused. Liverpool look very confused. It looks like every single game they are trying to try something different. Van Dijk, you can't play one season and consider yourself the GOAT. Being a GOAT or being a top class defender, it consists of consistency over a long period of time. You can't be performing like this.
I think that's a good point you are hitting on, because nobody seems to be pointing fingers at him. He's having an absolute stinker.
Terrible season. And you see, there are no excuses because he has Alisson behind him.
Yeah.
He has Matip by him. He has Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. So it's the exact same. There's no talk of he's having to form a new partnership with somebody. No, you are playing with the same people. You are supposed to be the leader. Now he's beginning to act like Maguire. If we are being honest, he's acting like Maguire because he's making some. Look at the third goal. How can you miss the clearance at the first post? That is the most, because once it passed him, it's entering straight into the danger area, and rightly so, Liverpool were punished. Another player we need to mention, and I'm happy these things are happening, because you see, everybody talks about modern day football.
Yeah.
When you are a defender, you can never compromise the basic duties of defending.
Of course.
That is what you are judged on. Yes, your offensive numbers may be good, and that's the thing about modern day football. The fixation on offensive side of play and leaving the basics.
Yeah.
That's why he's sitting on the bench at England. That's why he won't play. Because he doesn't give you that balance. You are in your own area. You chest a ball and you are so lackadaisical and allow the opponent to pass behind you and come and pick the ball. And you see, even that is forgivable.
Yeah.
The body language to try and recover the ball is just there. Because he can cross and he can give 20 assists, so he's just there. And he can't defend, and his team is conceding 3. And the sad thing this season is, offensively too, he's being found out. He's not getting those numbers that we know he can get.
Yeah.
So look, this Liverpool team, I think they've maxed out. They've been together for they've hit their peak. They've been together for a very long time. They needed some signings to ginger the team and spice the team up. They were not able to get them. Until January, I really don't see their form. I think it will be like this.
Liverpool are not even the type of team to spend big in January.
It's bad.
So there's a lot of trouble on the horizon. Coach, I think Daniel has said a lot of things, but do you agree? Has this team peaked, or is this a salvageable season?
Maybe the manager himself is on the decline. I think that is what we should be looking at.
The decisions of the manager.
It's showing that he himself, because he's not thinking right. He's not seeing the things, the obvious. You see, that is where the problem is. If the thing is so clear,
and you are refusing to see.
Is it refused or he cannot see?
I think
he's
refusing.
I think Klopp sees these things, but like Daniel said, it's a blind loyalty to players.
Then we can give him the benefit of the doubt. But if he's
emotionally attached to players,
closing his eyes to them, then he should be fired quick.
He says that the owners trust him.
No, but then they are ready. They act based on what you tell them, isn't it? When you tell them there's a problem there, they'll give you the money to go and fix it.
I don't think it's that straightforward, though. As for given money to fix problems, I don't think it's that straightforward.
Look, he's earned the right to tell the owners of Liverpool, I need to replace this person, give me the money, and he'll be given. He himself is on record to have said that.
He's spent 85 million on Darwin Núñez.
Yep.
He said they should go and pay
the money. And he's benching Darwin Núñez in games now.
He said they should go and pay the money. But the football now is looking very bad. That is another reason why I'm saying maybe he's on the decline.
Yeah.
Because he's done this 4-3-3, 4-3-3, 4-3-3 for years. It's good to have a solid foundation.
Yeah.
But there has to be a plan B. There has to be a plan C. You understand what I'm saying? It has to be a plan B, not only in tactics, but also in personnel. But in the Liverpool case, Alexander knows that no matter how bad he plays, the next week, Edumojalami.
A lack of competition.
Only like way of doing things.
Only like.
That was what Ole was doing to
killing competition.
Killing competition.
Sure.
If Robertson wasn't injured, Tsimikas will not be playing.
Exactly. But these guys now, because of the intensity of...
Konate should be benching Van Dijk.
It's as simple as that.
When he's playing poorly.
It's as simple as that. Joe Gomez should be given his fair share. But Van Dijk is like he's earned the right and untouchable. But look at that one day he's pulling his stool to block the ball, the next day he's doing that to... What is that? We've seen him several. Haven't you seen? Instead of him, look at Martinez, the Manchester United defender. Have you seen, when he has to block the ball, he goes with everything. John Terry way of defending. You put your body on the line.
Yeah.
But Van Dijk,
Van Dijk is always marking the zone.
He's too relaxed.
Marking the zone, trying to be too smart. Exactly.
You see, there's nothing wrong with being smart. But when you are being too smart and running away from your basic responsibility, you don't want to put your body on the line. And for me, look, they play Arsenal next.
Yep. Trouble. Then Manchester City.
Manchester City. Clearly, as a City, they're out of the title race.
Yeah.
Because I think they're about 11 points off Arsenal already. Their form is not good. It is not going to become any better because of the nature of the calendar year. Almost every player in that Liverpool team who's got a country who's qualified to the World Cup will be at the World Cup. So there's going to be fatigue. So if before the World Cup you are not accumulating enough points to make you competitive after, then you're out. If they don't take it, they will even struggle to qualify for the Champions League.
Well, the word to Liverpool is that you need to get your house in order. Let's get to the Emirates. Is the North London derby. It was the Thomas Partey show as Arsenal took on Tottenham Hotspur. He has been adjudged by Arsenal fans as the man of that particular game. So Arsenal absolutely dominating Tottenham Hotspur there. They didn't just beat them, they dominated them. Granit Xhaka, I have absolutely enjoyed watching Granit Xhaka in the last 3 or 4 game days or so. He looks like a reborn player. Once upon a time, Arsenal fans wanted this guy gone. Coach, 3-1, Partey on the score sheet. Arsenal fans voted him their man of the match. The general man of the match by the PL was Granit Xhaka, but it just tells you how dominant a performance Arsenal putting on the day.
Yeah, he's the real deal. When you say somebody is the real deal, then you mean business. He's not the ideal situation. He's the real party. He came to the party.
You mean he came to the party, so it's time to party.
Partey came to party.
Oh, Charlie.
And he did, look, goodness me, the control.
There's such a big difference between when he plays for Arsenal and when he doesn't play.
Yes, when he's not there, everybody knows he's not there. That is how important he is to the setup. That is why it is so instrumental that he takes good care of himself. Like I've said, and I'll continue to say, he should watch the things he eats. The number of hours he spends in bed. If he's going to Kuta, he should limit that. He should do things in the manner that will bring the best out of him. He should be talking to the Buffalo, talking to Michael Essien, so that Essien will give him proper rudiment on how to take care of himself. The reason why I'm saying that, because his type of injuries are not those that he's being kicked. He's walking.
Self-inflicted injuries.
So these are things that will normally show up in the player when the player is not taking good care of himself, when he's not resting well, when he's not eating properly. He's got the money to eat everything, but he needs to deny himself of certain things. That is what I mean by he's not eating, because he's so good a player, and we need him fit. When I see him like this, then I just pray God that, oh Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, keep him fit for the Black Stars. Keep him fit for the Black Stars. And let me address this. There were some text messages during the program that he's not committed to the national. That is not true. I sat here and I said, if I was the boss, I would invite him to come and play against Brazil, because he's the first name on the team sheet when he's fit. And because of his injury situation, we need to manage the situation. So it's like, because of him, look at how good a player Xhaka has become. I'm not saying Xhaka is a bad player. But Partey has made him
unlocked Xhaka.
No more.
Oh, Charlie. He has unlocked
Xhaka. You go and discipline. I'm here. And Xhaka himself knows that.
He's having the time of his life. I've never seen Granit Xhaka this happy in his football career.
Partey at the back.
Yeah.
He picks the ball. He gives it. If there's no space, bring it back to me. I'll give it to the next person. If there's no space, I'm the boss. You see, and he tells them, I'm told that when he says, give it to your boss, don't delay, give it to your boss, don't delay, give it to your boss. He's commanding them on the pitch. And it tells you of the respect.
Pulling the strings.
Telling them, look, Zinchenko, give it to your boss. This man, give it to your boss. They all know. So when they came to Zinchenko, when they came to Old Trafford and the boss was not there, they were all over the place in 6s and 7s. We saw that.
True.
Look, Partey is a special player. Partey should be managed properly. Partey should be told that if he's sleeping 6 hours a day, he should sleep 10 hours. Because that £250,000 a week, if he stays fit, Arsenal themselves have got no reason whatsoever not to take it to 350. What the things Obama did, and they took him to 350. Partey is doing equally the same thing. So the next extension should be 350. But the 350 will only come if you stay fit.
If you can stay fit, yep.
It was a brilliant... Look at that goal.
That's like 25 yards out.
He didn't go for power.
There was no first touch.
There was proper...
The first touch was the goal.
No more. Absolutely sublime.
Yeah, let me see that goal again. That was just lovely.
If you are watching this game with your sweetheart, the moment you see the goal, oh Charlie, you have to kiss your wife in appreciation of the goal.
You mean if you are watching
this game and your wife is closer to you, or your Lille is closer to you, the moment the ball is caressed into the net, like we saw, go, Dede, go. You have to jubilate the goal.
Yeah.
And what puts the eyes on it? I'm a Ghanaian. When I see my fellow Ghanaian,
this is as big as it gets in terms of stages, especially for an Arsenal player.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
In what they consider to be their biggest game of the calendar. You do this.
He came through with flying colours.
Liverpool, they should watch out.
Daniel, quick thoughts. Can we say that they are now legit title contenders? There's been the talk that they don't have the depth, they don't have the mentality to stay on top. We've seen them week in, week out. Tottenham equalized, they came back with a response. In that game against United, they were a little naive and so they got beaten. But Arsenal looking very, very good now if you're an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, look, they are very solid, they are. And I think their title contention, or how valid their title contention will be, is on the shoulders of Thomas Partey. If he can stay fit, I honestly think they can take Man City all the way. Because in as much as Man City has dazzled this season, Arsenal are still top.
Yep.
That is the fact. City are scoring 6 twice, they are scoring 5, they are scoring 4, but Arsenal are still top. And you see, in the Premier League, it's just about consistency.
Yeah.
3 points is 3 points. If you look at how Conte did it at Chelsea, he wasn't blowing teams 7-0, 6-0. No. He was getting the points. 2-1 is 3 points. 1-0 is 3 points. Jose Mourinho did the same thing. Even when Liverpool were chasing Manchester City, they were not showcasing the score lines that Man City were given, but they were given that consistency. Week in, week out, they were getting the 3 points, and that is what is important. And the good thing about Arsenal also, and I said it at the start of the season, is their fixture list before the World Cup. If they can navigate this, honestly, I think if Arsenal can top the table with at least 4 points, by the time they go to the World Cup, they are prime contenders for the Premier League title. Because look, if you look at the number of Man City players who are going to the World Cup, and if you compare that to Manchester City's second half form under Pep Guardiola, especially after Christmas, they always falter before they start going on this extended winning run. And that is the critical side of the season. When the FA Cup comes in, when European competition also comes in, and you are playing. Now, it's not like at this stage of the season, with the Carabao Cups and the early stages of the Champions League, you can afford to rest players. But in the second half of the season, you are playing your best team every 3 days. And that is why I feel Arsenal will have the advantage. Because if you look at the level of rotation that they do in the Europa League, in their 2 games, you can tell that they have depth.
They do, actually.
For that competition.
Yeah, Fabio Vieira and
Nketsia, they can take care of that. Even the Marquinhos boy who has come in, they can take care of that. And they've done 4 points in the opening out of 6. So from this period, the first half of the season, they have the squad to take care of the lesser competitions and concentrate mainly on the Premier League. And I feel, if anything, that's a beautiful thing about football, and that's what I love about Arsenal. Aim for the stars. If you feel you are in the clouds, aim for the Premier League title. If you feel you've qualified for the Champions League first time in 7 years, and that is also really important.
Success story.
Yes, for me, it's just pick it from the Leicester City leaf. Once you are top, it means you can win. Yeah. Once you are top, it means you are doing the right thing.
A game at
a time.
Keep going, and you never know what will happen.
Yeah. I believe this as well. I mean, look at Arsenal. Like it's just been brilliant football from them so far. Let's get to the Etihad. That's where all the juice is. I need coach to remind me what 6 is again. 6 is what?
6-3 has got no 10.
No, relax.
It's Ayele.
6 goals.
Listen, it's not about the goals.
Yeah.
3-0
pay attention in class.
4-0 Ayoko. 5-0 Akwele. 6-0 Akwete. But this is 6-3, so there's no 10.
When it's 7, then it's what? 7-0 is what?
Ajete.
And 8 is what?
Obushi.
And 9 is what?
Lamley. Again, Nina.
I was hoping. So this is what Ajete.
No,
6 is what?
No, this one. This
Akwete. You see, coach is trying to. I'm the host of the show. I'm saying
but
whether there is 3 or not, it's Akwete.
No. If it's 3-0, it's Ayele.
We won't agree.
You still collected. Akwete. Ajete.
They ran away before the game ended. You see, it was important that if you were watching the game with a United fan, you held them close, allowed them to sit through this game, just so when they are going on a tirade about how good their team already is, they have a good perspective of where the level really is. Hold the United fan. Don't let them run away from these type of games. You see, like the commentator said, the ground was empty before the game even ended. They didn't even witness Martial's goals. Coach,
yeah,
was this down to Ten Hag not selecting the right personnel, or was this just a true reflection of the real levels of the two teams?
I think it was down to the true levels of the two teams. Don't forget that Pep Guardiola, he's been in this business. This is his 7th season. The only player he came to meet, who is still part of this team, is Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Every other player, he's cleared out of the team. So this is Pep's team.
Yeah.
Ten Hag has barely been in the job for 6 months. He's had only one transfer window. He's bought 4 players, outfit players, and 1 goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And his players are Eriksen, Malacia, who else? Remind me.
Casemiro.
Casemiro.
Martinez.
And then Martinez. And Anthony. So he's bought 5 players actually. If you look at the impact of those players he's bought, it's clearly United is in the right direction. So that is all. Now let's come to the game itself. Personally, I had said on Sports Panorama that I would start Casemiro. Because Rashford and Martial were both injured and they had not come back from injury.
Let me just ask you, why do you think he's not starting? Is it a fitness issue?
No.
A fit with the system issue?
I don't think it's a fitness issue. Don't forget, Casemiro was bought because of the first 2 games that didn't go well.
Yeah.
So when Casemiro was being introduced to the supporters of Manchester United that they were playing Liverpool, isn't it?
Yep.
McTominay and co did the job. They repeated the job again. They repeated the job the 3rd time. They repeated the job the 4th time. So if you're a manager, you have to be very careful not to rock the boat. That is what even makes you the manager.
Yeah.
When you see the need, I felt that today there was the need to have done that on Marcus Rashford. Because he was just coming back from injury. And there was the need to again acknowledge the opponents that we're going to play against. That look, Eriksen and Co will be better off when they are not so much given the responsibility of being a bit defensive. Because that is not within his DNA. When you're playing against the smaller boys, you can afford to do that. But properly, I think Ten Hag got it wrong by not starting Casemiro. I told Koranteng, I told Nathan during the week that, look, if I'm the one, Casemiro starts. Because I've slept, I've looked at Man City, I said, look, United needed to go with both Casemiro and Scott McTominay.
Yeah.
And then Marcus Rashford and Martial start on the bench. So that Bruno played that false number 9 thing. Because at the end of the day, you are not going to dominate that round object. You are going to play in a way to get them to be punished whenever they lose the ball. We didn't do that. And again, Scott McTominay, he's done brilliantly in the last 4 games, but for today.
This was the real McTominay.
This was the real McTominay. Look, his position on the subject.
You are being unfair.
No.
If a man plays 4 good games and plays 1 bad game, how is the one bad game a true reflection of
this? Is the game that matters most. This is the game that...
Against Arsenal, it mattered.
No, it's many games before this season.
Before this season.
Well.
See, this is the game...
Maybe he has turned over a new leaf.
No, but all he needed to do was to stay in position. Look, if only we could go back to the goal Martial scored.
Yeah.
that headed goal. United had committed close to 5-6 players. Casemiro was not in the video. And I pointed that out at halftime when we're doing the program on radio. And I said, look, it tells you of somebody who understands the DM role proper.
Yeah.
Because Man City, third and fourth goal, if McTominay was in position, those goals would have been avoided. I made a statement about the referee, and most people thought I was using that as an excuse. No. Listen to me and listen to me well. On the goal that Erling Haaland scored, the first goal, Man City had a counter-attack. When the shot was taken, Varane blocked the ball, but he didn't land properly. After blocking the ball, City were obliged, it's within the rule that, look, continue playing.
Yeah.
They went, the ball got repelled. They went for the second time, got repelled. And if you look at the position of the referee, he kept looking at Varane. And Varane was there completely motionless. And then on the fourth attempt, that same recycled ball, that was what resulted in the corner. So you could clearly see that when the ball is Bruno Fernandes, Eriksen and Co went to him and said, yes, I'm sure that it wasn't an head injury.
Yeah.
So you are allowed to play on. But if you look at the fact that the ball had been blocked, blocked, and the man was lying there motionless, you should have stopped the game.
Yeah.
You can see David De Gea even went to Kevin De Bruyne that you should have played the ball out. But it is within their right. It's not an excuse. And then the only natural header, somebody who is the best header of the ball in the United team, was not on the pitch on that Erling Haaland first goal. Don't forget, prior to that, Man City had 2 corner kicks already. And Varane had dealt with them all.
Even for the Haaland goal, it was Eriksen competing for the header with Erling Haaland.
And that's what before that was their third corner.
Yeah.
Their first 2 corner, Varane had dealt with it. And they clearly knew that once he was there, let's hang the ball high up in there. There'll be no match. And the guy, look, he's a beast. For all those who are laughing at United, at least we have played Man City with Haaland. The blue people, they'll play with Haaland. We'll see. Those who say they are on top, they'll play with Haaland. We'll see. The red people, they'll play Manchester City with Haaland. We'll see. We have tasted a good share of the cake. You don't know what you have in stock. Congratulations to Pep Guardiola and his team. They were super, super fantastic. The unforced error in that first half from McTominay and Eriksen needed to be punished. Because there were times where even the passing was bad. United couldn't, even under no pressure, Tomini gave the ball away
United
2-3 times.
Very poor in the first 30 minutes especially.
Look at the card that Malaysia got. Rashford was giving the ball. There was no Man City player in and around him. He just dashed the ball to Phil Foden. Malaysia had to fight. And if you are playing against such an opposition, within the first 20 minutes, your 2 fullbacks are all booked. That's it. You're done. So Man City played wisely. Jack Grealish had a good day because of Mark Oliver.
This was his best game in the Manchester City
Mark Oliver, goodness me, this is a derby game.
Yeah.
That Dalot card, how is that a card? Because Dalot didn't go kicking him.
Just tripped him.
They were stretching, and Dalot had stretched for the ball.
Yeah.
And then he just touched the ball and fell over Dalot's leg.
After 1 minute.
After 1 minute, 20 seconds. Bah, yellow card. Come on, what sort of intention is this? What sort of referee is this?
Yeah. It just kills your intent as a footballer in a game.
And they just went for Dalot
and
started slaughtering him. Today, it will go in your favor. Tomorrow, then people say it was. Tell the guy, you should go and cut this hair. Because if I'm the coach, I will instruct my players to pull the hair.
You are still on this matter. Daniel, let me take your thoughts on the game that's been played so far. I want you to talk about Ten Hag for me, because I feel like in the first 30 to 45 minutes, he looked bamboozled. He looked like he didn't have any answers to what Manchester City was doing.
Look,
just talk me through that.
Look, Ben, when the lineups came out, and unless you are not being honest with yourself, if you've seen Manchester City without Fernandinho or Rodri, especially
this was a makeshift Manchester City.
When you are going to play on the counter, it works in your favor.
Exactly.
So when I saw the lineup and I saw Rodri wasn't in it. Gundogan was tasked to play that whole game.
In fact, he was very happy.
Clearly, I was happy because I saw there was an opportunity to go at Manchester City, especially on a counter-attack, because they clearly didn't have protection. If you look at how the game went, they scored 6, but they still conceded 3. Look, what disappointed me with Man United was the lack of aggression, especially in the second ball. Because when your game plan is down to counter-attacks, the second ball is the most important thing.
That's what you should win, actually.
That is what you should win, because that is the source of your attack. If you are not winning the second ball, then you are obviously going to be dominated. And for Man United, there was a total lack of aggression. And top of that list was Eriksen. You see, and it's very interesting how I like to keep the same energy. Okay, it's very interesting how his performance is being assessed. Yes, we know he's not responsible for defensive work, but the trigger, I'm not saying win the ball.
Exactly.
But the trigger, make the effort, force the Manchester City player into making a poor decision. He was just standing off. And you see, the scary thing about his standing off is that he's in a dangerous defensive situation where if he doesn't make an effort, is an open chance for Manchester City.
McTominay always away from him.
McTominay also in his own zone. The synergy between the midfield was just off. And you see, that was a huge problem. Manchester United's inability to win the second ball, even attempt to win the second ball. So what happened was that when Manchester City loses the ball, there was a sequence of play where Akanji miscontrolled the ball. And one would have thought Rashford was going to press him for it. He was standing there, and Akanji goes and he picks the ball, and he's driving through the attack. He drives through the middle, and he's just going. Ake did the same thing.
And there were a couple of them, even on the wings, players would track back, pick up a ball, and
it was crazy. So, look, once you are going on a counter-attack, and even Tottenham at 2-1, that's what they were doing. Allow Arsenal to dominate. But when there's a sniff of a loose ball, you quickly pounce on it and then you counter-attack. And Manchester United did not do that. And rightly so, they were punished. But again, on the selection issue, I always say, look, hindsight is a bit easy. But if you look at the performance of this midfield over the past 4 games, and in a mock game like the Arsenal game, where, and I say mock because of the sort of game plan the two teams wanted to approach. Arsenal wanted to dominate, which they did. Man United wanted to counter, which they did. You can understand why Ten Hag went with the same midfield. And also because of the performance we've seen of Casemiro. He doesn't look quite settled yet. I think today, because of the occasion, and also because at the point where he came into the game, he was already lost. So there was really not much pressure on him. He looked a bit more settled. But I understand why the manager went with that. I'm saying there needed to be some aggression in the midfield. There needed to be some aggression at the top. The press needed to be triggered. United were just sitting off. And once you concede early, after 7 minutes in a game where you want to keep go on a counter-attack, it's almost game plan blown out of the window. And again, even at the end of that, when you are 1-0, common sense will tell you, keep it compact for as long as possible. Stay in the game. Keep it compact. But it wasn't like United were even attempting to chase the game. They were still sleeping. And look, you have to be punished. When things like this happen, you have to be punished. Man United did themselves more because this Manchester City team was there. It was there. We've seen,
and that's the crazy thing about City this season.
We've seen Crystal Palace do it.
They don't look invincible.
They don't look invincible. They are there. And Man United really disappointed.
And I think Ten Hag said it in his interview that he was surprised the United players were scared. Because if they were not scared, the aggression...
That's what it looked like to me, especially in the first 30 minutes. United looked nervous.
He was actually, when he was interviewed, he said, they didn't look brave. And we had spoken about this thing, that look, you are going to a place where you needed to be brave in whatever you do. Show a bit more bravery in whatever you do. Intent. And they were not ready to do that. And for me, the only thing that I take solace in is the fact that if this was last season, they wouldn't have scored 3 against City. They would have thrown in the towel a bit late. But you saw that in the last 30 minutes, Ten Hag came, but he stood there, make sure everybody kept running.
But even my point is, I'm not saying go and win the game. I'm not saying go and draw. It is how it is
go about it.
And you see, Arsenal lost 2-1 to Man City last season, the second half of last season. But that game, because of that game, Arsenal fans and football fans are looking forward to what will happen this season.
Yes.
Because of how they lost it. They stayed in the game. They gave Man City a run for their money. And they only lost out a silly red card in the last minute.
Yeah.
See, but in this one, the way United approached it, although yes, they scored 3 goals, but the ease at which Man City scored the 6,
they look like they knew
and the ease at which Man City scored 11.
That is the lack of
that is where the problem is.
Well, the guys have said it all. Let's take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll show you that Chelsea game. We have some action from the Italian Serie A and also the Spanish La Liga. Stay with us here on Scorecard. Welcome back to Scorecard here on Citi TV. Let's round up the Premier League action with Chelsea's game against Crystal Palace. Conor Gallagher came through with a big-time effort to win the game against the team that he spent last season with. He's a Chelsea player, though. He spent last season on loan at Palace. This time around, he came around and said, yes, this is why you guys loved my presence last season. Welcome back in studio. Let me get to Daniel on this one.
Red card.
Yeah, that was a very shocking decision for the Thiago Silva incident.
How was that not a red card?
Referee saw it otherwise.
Look, even the Chelsea coach himself, Graham Potter, even he himself, he said that was a red card.
I don't know how VAR works, honestly. Right now, I don't know the essence of VAR. I don't know the essence of VAR because I thought it was there to fix some of these things. Jordan wins the ball, he's going, and Thiago Silva deliberately, intentionally uses his hand to hit the ball off Jordan.
Knowing very well that he was the last.
Once a foul was given,
that's a red card.
Then the rule must be applied to the latter.
The only way he avoids the red card is if you don't give the foul at all.
Yes.
Once you give the foul, that's a red card. But, Coach, quick thoughts. Graham Potter's Chelsea, this is his first league win, I believe. What are you making of it so far? Is it looking like a promising project?
It wasn't pretty. He himself admitted to that. But again, he's come into the team. He's still new, fresh in the team. Let's see how it goes. You don't want to put too much pressure on him because the games now are going to be coming very thick and fast. Let's see how he handles it. But he still had some proper convincing to do because at the end of the day, they will not be having what's the name that referee not to be given obvious red card when it is indeed an obvious one.
Let me read a few messages that have come through. D. Dashaz says that let's also not forget that Manchester City always starts badly in the league. This year has been different. Their December struggles could also be a thing of the past this season, you say. And then you go ahead to say, I don't think any team stops them unless there's a miracle, okay? Hashtag scorecard. This one also coming through from Kobina Apia. You say that baptism of fire for United today, but we move. We'll dish it out to Everton. That's from Kobina Apia with that one. And then Benjamin Nketsia says, for the first time, that DK is saying something sweet about Arsenal. Wow. I don't think you've been following DK. He's had a turnaround on Arsenal for a minute.
Exactly. That's what we do here. So that's it.
Yeah. This one here is from Peter Ohene Ajekum. He says that, good evening, guys. I'm glad it's Sunday evening again. With the way Haaland is going, he will hit 40-plus goals this season. As for my Man United, City showed us that we are not at that level yet. It could be someday. This one here is from Arthur Benedict. He says, only like, in reference to something Coach said. Please give us the description of Ten Hag. Is it Ralph-like? He says, he's asking you.
It's Eric Ten Hag's way of doing it.
Eric Ten Hag's, okay. So Ten Hag ball. Yeah. Ten Hag ball still in effect. Clef Woody says that I have said it before and I will say it again. With all due respect to Brighton, Leandro Trossard should not be playing for them. Dude is a top player. Now to Liverpool, I don't know how and why they seemingly don't get equal or more criticism than Chelsea gets. That's true. Liverpool have been coasting under the radar on a lot of things. It's just one of those things. This one here is from Ellie Fearless. It says, please, are you guys really looking at Salis Abdul Samed play for Lens? This guy will solve a lot of the problems we have in the midfield with the Black Stars, okay? More messages coming through. This one here is from Ellie Fearless again. He says, I totally agree with Danny K and Coach that the group of the Black Galaxies is a difficult one and the court case is not helping matters either. However, to be the best, you obviously must beat the best. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so a lot of messages coming through. Keep your messages coming. Just tweet at me at Kojo Nketsia. Use the hashtag scorecard and I'll be too happy to read your tweet. Let's get to the Spanish La Liga. Barcelona were up against Mallorca. Okay, so that's how that game ended. 1-0 in favor of Barcelona. Real Madrid dropped points earlier today, and so that game ended 1-1. The Real Madrid game ended 1-1. Barcelona winning their game. Could just snap thoughts on this?
I think they're on track. And I think I have said it time and time and again that Xavi is the man for the job. And he will fix this team to suit the Barcelona way of doing it. And I can't wait for their Clásico. I can't wait for their Clásico.
Clásico will be tasty. Let's get to Athletic Bilbao. They were up against newly promoted Almeria. It was really the Williams brothers show. Inaki and Nico were absolutely doing their thing. So Inaki assisting Nico, Nico assisting Inaki. A Williams brothers story.
Beautiful. That's what we want to see.
Yeah.
The only unpleasant part is that we don't have Nico. I would have loved to see them.
You'd have loved both the brothers to be in the action.
For the Black Stars at the World Cup. But hey, we'll do with what we have. And I'm happy that Inaki is scoring. And he's not only scoring, he's been a team player. His all-round contribution.
I think that's the biggest bit about him. He's more a team player than he even is a goal scorer. He's always helping out. He's tracking back. He's tackling.
We need to feed on him. We need to get people to feed off him.
Yeah,
that is the best way we can capitalize. He's not going to be an Asamajan. But Jam Brothers in those days was not only scoring.
Yeah,
he makes everybody around him better.
Yeah,
and that is what Inaki will do. So get people closer to him. Play the ball to him. Let him use his physique, his power to bring the best out of those in around him.
Yeah.
If possible, pair him with Andre. I'd say if Andre is going to play top, if not bench, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, then you throw him in there.
Daniel, quick thoughts on that one. The Williams brothers doing their thing.
Yeah, Iñaki, because Iñaki is,
he's our guy.
He's our guy. Yeah. He's our guy. We don't know. Maybe in the future Nico will come, but.
How's that eligibility like? If he goes dormant for a certain spell of time without playing, before he turns a certain age?
Yeah, major competition also. So he's played in a friendly game.
Yeah.
So if he goes for a period, like what has happened to Hudson-Odoi. So I think it's 3 years without playing. But hopefully Spain don't intentionally call him as and when. And maybe he doesn't go to the World Cup so that in the future we can have him. But yes, we have Iñaki. A couple of years ago, we didn't dream of having him. Now we have him. And as coach said, we have Trey scoring this weekend. Inaki is scoring.
Yeah.
Jordan gave an assist. Partey is scoring.
Yeah.
And the guys are, in fact, if you watch the Barcelona game, Idris Baba had a fantastic game. If our players are playing and are on the right form and going into the World Cup, there's no reason why we can't solicit on that and use that to propel us past the group stages. So it's good that the guys are doing well, and just hope that it continues into the World Cup period.
Let's get to the Italian Serie A. There was a big game this weekend. Inter Milan were up against AS Roma. Jose Mourinho up against his former team. There's a lot to be said, especially based on Inter Milan's form before the international break. Inter Milan are reeling, absolutely reeling. Daniel,
I don't know why
let me take thoughts on that. I'll come to coach.
I don't know why they've not sacked Inzaghi.
Yeah,
I honestly don't know why they've not let him.
Because Roma have been struggling themselves.
You see, it's your pedigree that buys you time. When you've done something in the past, when you've won something, that's when you can bank on that and say, give me time. It's not that they gave him the title-winning team from
But
last
Inter don't have money, right?
He did it. That's not about Inter don't have money. The Italian Serie A teams don't have money.
They have the best team in the league.
They have the best by far.
They don't. No, it's not. When I say money, it's about the sacking bit. You know, they need to pay him compensation. They need to find new money to pay the new manager.
My point, he wouldn't. If I was in charge, he wouldn't even have come into this season. To lose the title to that AC Milan team last season.
And still have survived this long.
And then you start this, Lazio have beaten you, you've lost to Atalanta, you've lost to Roma. Everybody's beating you. And it's the title race is over for Inter Milan, honestly. As it stands, it's over. They can't win it, especially if Inzaghi is still in charge. He doesn't have a grip over his team. He's like Klopp. He's confused. He doesn't know what is going on. And the sooner they get rid of him, the better. Because I'm not going. You can't tell me because Lukaku is not playing, you can't win matches. You can't tell me that because you have Dzeko. That is the class of this team. Lukaku is absent.
You drop off,
Dzeko is playing.
And Dzeko is still world class.
Lautaro, who has been playing, who recently got injured. There's Korea. They have the best by far, but still
struggling. Coach, just snap thoughts on that.
I agree with Daniel. I think they should sack him quick because at the end of the day, very quick. At the end of the day, this is the team expected to win the league.
Yep.
So if
they are favorites for the title and they are playing like this.
They are in 6s and 7s. If you look at the fact that the performances are not convincing too.
Yeah.
So there's nothing pointing to the fact that it's going to get better.
Yeah.
If they were dominating games and not winning, then you want to wait and
There's
see.
something to fall back on.
But as it stands, results are not coming. Performance is very bad. Let him go.
Quick.
Let's go and finish off with the German Bundesliga. Bayern Munich were up against Bayer Leverkusen. Put them to the sword. We'll do that, and then we'll also do Borussia Dortmund versus FC Cologne back-to-back. A lot of sumptuous goals scored there in the Bundesliga. Could just 30 seconds on the two games. Dortmund losing to Cologne. Bayern Munich also winning big.
The bad form of Bayern Munich is over. They will go
like you said the last time.
They're going to win the league.
Daniel, Musiala, just touch on him for me. I mean, lots of people don't know who he is yet, but he's lighting up the Bundesliga this season.
Look, he's too good. He's too good. Like,
he's too good for his age.
He's too good for a football.
What, 19 years or 18
the
now?
Close control, his ability to maneuver the ball through tight spaces.
He reminds me of Ronaldo.
I promise you, I'm not reaching. It's like Messi.
Yeah.
He can, whether there's 5, 6 players around him.
His dribbling ability is so
and you see,
great.
He's so intelligent for his age. That's when it comes in. I think
he,
Foden, Haaland, Mbappe, that's the future. These guys, look, they are going to rule football for the next 10, 15 years. I'm telling you, because they are also at the right clubs. Haaland, Foden, Manchester City, dominance. Musiala, Bayern Munich. Mbappe, PSG. In fact, wherever he wants to go, he will be taken.
Yeah.
But at the top level, these guys are, look, they are the future. But this Musiala guy he's absolutely brilliant. I think next season he will be the guy carrying the Bayern Munich team. I think he will.
Last season they tried to blood him small. This season they are giving him a lot of playing time. But that's it from us here. Big shout outs to my people watching from the Ambassadors Pub, to Jeff and Sarah Ama. Yes, Jeff and Sarah Ama watching from the Ambassadors Pub in Chado. And also a happy birthday to Yvonne Kamasa and Kelvin Kamasa. So Kelvin celebrated his birthday yesterday. Yvonne celebrated her birthday today. Husband and wife back-to-back birthdays. Yvonne and Kelvin Kamasa. So
I like them.
You like it?
I like
you
them.
like them? Yeah. I'll let them know that you're a big fan of
like them.
Thank you guys for spending time with us here on the show. Thank you guys for the tweets as well. Same time next week, Scorecard will be back here on Citi TV.